I was dead hungry when we got to London. First thing I read was this sign. It said, something something 1924, something and something pan artists live here. What the fuck is a pan artist? Lil said. How would I know? I said, imagining meat frying on metal, imagining the spit and drool coming off my mouth. The next thing I read was in paint. It said Total Bitch Club with a sign over it like on Twitter, like hashtag. Total Bitch Club, we should start that, right, Tiger? Said Lil. I'd be bitch leader and you'd be my nasty sidekick. I couldn't hear her. I was ravenous. I wanted to lick that paint off that lamppost. We were walking down the street that looked right out of Harry Potter, all fancy and with no litter about. Look at that shop, said Lil. She stood like she was challenging it, legs wide, arms crossed. She was well confident, Lil. She always wore big trainers and a shitload of charisma. I thought Mum should have called her Tiger instead of me, because her hair was more ginger than mine and she was more fierce. I could hear words loud coming out of headphones. As you run through my jungle, all you hear is rumbles. On cue, my stomach made complaining sounds. I'm hungry, I muttered. Above the shop window it said book and something. Let's go in then. Why, you want to buy a book? I sneered at her, feeling my cheeks go hot. She flipped me off and darted in. Lil was little and quick and ADHD like that. Not like me. I hesitated at the door. I could see the books from outside. Their spines looked so fresh and crunchy. The pages white and smooth like cream, like forbidden fruit. I licked my lips, imagining the cream running over them. I could tell the shop would taste salty and filling, like a hot bag of chips. I was greedy for that. I wanted to feel it clog my throat. Inside reminded me of rich people who drink afternoon tea from china cups and don't think books is just for pussies. Are we in Notting Hill? I said, thinking about that film. Don't be thick, said Lil. Yeah, but are we? Lil shrugged. Why don't you read the fucking road signs? She flipped open a book. I wanted to smack her for that, but I didn't. Sometimes I get so frustrated, I want to bash Lil's head in. I stand there and try to think of something witty to say, but I'm not clever enough. And I get that hunger again, like I could take that book she's skimming through, and just to punish her for making it look so easy, like it means nothing to her, I'd munch through the lot of it. May I help you? Said the man at the desk. We both stared at him suspiciously. I hadn't expected him to speak. He looked like furniture. All these polite books and their neat jackets in this shop, and there's this polite guy in his neat jacket in the shop. He looked full and content, and his cheeks were rosy. I felt sallow and shrunken and malnourished. My eyes drifted longingly towards a book with big black writing on it. I imagined pointing out the tip of my tongue and drawing it gently up that cover, then mashing my lips against the pages till they were wet enough to bite through. Where's the kitchen in this book and kitchen then? Said Lil. Downstairs, let me show you, he said, and then he walked down half the stairs and gestured to the floor below like we were fucking royalty. We're not fucking royalty, I said, and Lil said quickly, she's joking. Downstairs there was a little cafe area. I tried to ignore all the books around me looking so juicy. On the edges of my sight I could tell they were more colourful than the upstairs ones. I could tell they'd taste more fleshy, drippy fruit than dry sponge cake. In front of me there was a lady who looked full of books, warm and well fed, and like there was a secret fire in her belly from eating all those pages and stories. I bet she snaffles ink all night long when everyone has gone home. Hi sweetheart, she said to me, I'm Moona. I wasn't used to people talking to me like that, all soft. Stop standing there like a pillock then, said Lil. Can we have a cake? I'm all right, I said. I accidentally clocked a book on one of the cafe tables and almost slapped my forehead for being so stupid as to look around. I wanted to shove it away, but more than that, I wanted to cram it between my teeth and tear, tear, tear. You said you was hungry. We'll both have a cake. Would you like a coffee? Said Moona. We've got Ethiopian, flavourful but strong, Mexican, mild and sweet, and Sumatran. We stared at her, blank. I couldn't even understand that last word. I felt ashamed for being so dumb. I said, whatever. Lil looked at me, smirking. Similar like the wrestlers, was that? She said slyly. Shut up, I said. Muna put a slice of tart on a plate next to that book I was trying not to look at. As Lil reached for the cake, my hand darted out too. She grabbed at the sugary triangle. "Mine first, ha ha," she said. I growled at her. I didn't want any frigging cake. "You can read that if you want, sweetheart," said Muna, nodding to the book. It must have been the way she said sweetheart. It made my throat lump up. "Don't cry, you're not starving," said Lil. I think Muna expected us to eat at a table. Lil stalked about like she owned the place, holding a slice of cake between her fingers and taking big bites. There wasn't anything else to do, so I gave myself a treat. I let myself walk over to this green-painted bookshelf. I did it softly, like a big cat stalking prey. Sometimes, with the hunger, I feel like there's that tiger inside me, my namesake, but it can't find a way out. On the shelf were the most delicious looking of all the books. The pictures on the front told you what they were about. There's one about a mermaid and one set in space. I bet that story would feel good inside. My favourite was a cover with a bear on it. I don't know why. I wouldn't have minded being named Bear instead of Tiger. Bears are big and slow. That's me. The bear didn't have a mouth. That's me too. No way with words. I looked around to check Muna and Lil weren't watching, and I picked the book up. I felt hungry. I clutched my stomach. It was aching so bad. I looked over at Lil. She was dicking about with the piano. I didn't want her to see. Didn't want to give away my secret. I opened the pages, breathing faster. The inside of the cover was green, and there was red ink on the first page. This something book, something two, and then some dots. I turned over another page to some drawings, and then another to a 2-page thread. It had loads of letters and spaces on it. I tried to read the ones on the left, but I couldn't. I was famished, so I tried to read the ones on the right. Back on the left, there was these little symbols, and I didn't know if they were words or not. I was starting to breathe loud, unsteady, so I closed the bare book, and I just looked at the cover. I tasted the words on the front, rolling them around my tongue. "I want," I said, but I couldn't get the feel of the next word. "I want," I said again, trying harder than I ever had. I felt like I hadn't eaten for 3 days, and I couldn't eat enough to fill the hole. It was like I'd been hungry all my life and wanting forever with no way to eat, like I'd never known how. But didn't I deserve to? Didn't I deserve just this one meal? Just some warmth in my belly too? I leant down, and I licked that cover. It tasted like strawberries. "Hey, Lil," I said quietly, sidling up to her. "Have you got 43p? "I'm not fucking made of money," she said instantly. "Okay," I said, hovering. "What do you want 43p for?" I shrugged. "Just want to get this book." "You took the piss out of me for wanting to go in a bookshop. I'm not giving you 43p to buy a fucking book." "Fine." "Why do you want it?" "I don't know." Her hand moved so quickly I felt paralysed. She snatched the book. "I want my hat back! What the fuck?" She flipped through it quickly, her eyes ripping through the pages, soaking up the words in seconds. She gulped them down like I wanted to, carelessly, because she wasn't thirsty. It wasn't fair. "Give me that back!" I grabbed her fingers and squeezed them till she shrieked. "That really hurts, Tiger!" "Stop being such a silly little bitch then," I said, and I pinched her skin with my nails and made moon shapes on her wrist. She slapped me away. "Fine, have your kid's book. I don't want it now," I said, turning away. I walked over to another section of books. Muna had come out the kitchen and was watching us. In front of me, there was a book with a big eye on the cover, on the background, of blue, and I thought, fuck off, don't judge me. Then there was a stack, all with attractive covers. The covers all said something, 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 John Green. I stood looking at the books a bit. I wondered what the somethings meant. And suddenly my eyes got all misty. Just blurry, like when you stare at something too long. I had my back to Lil and I forgot about her for a minute, just trying to read the titles. Trying and trying and trying. My throat was parched. My limbs were aching, just keeping myself up with no food in me. Then I heard, "Here," and I remembered Lil. She'd come up right behind me on my left, so I looked to my right, so she couldn't see that my cheeks were red and there was water in my eyes. She put the bear book on the shelf in front of me and slipped something in my pocket. "Get off," I said. "What's that?" She turned around, took a snappy chomp of cake and bounced towards the stairs. 43p, isn't it, you tit? Thanks.
Abby Tarttelin.